I don't really think this is going to be considered a budget build anymore, and I was a little disappointed. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 8 of the E46 M3 budget build. Now I almost feel guilty calling it a budget build because I'll be honest, since that last video I talked to you guys about and broke down how much I've spent a lot more. So I'll have to do another video like that soon. But anyway, let me update you guys with what's going on. So from that last roll cage build in episode 7, we've gotten a little more dialed in. We got the seats in, the brackets and everything set up. What else? Oh yeah, the dash. We got the dash cut. So remember I said I was going to cut that lower piece off, so this looks a lot more flush and clean. Then Steven went ahead and cut out these doors, which all that metal's what was cut out on both sides. It's going to look nice and flush because Garrett's working on the door bars right now, and that is what is going to go in today. So right here. And then they still got to put the front kickers in, so once those door bars are in, they'll get the bars that go from here to here, but they already got this prepped, so they welded these plates on here. And that should about do it for the cage. Oh no, actually I lied. And then we got a surprise coming back here, which I'll show you guys and explain later on. And then one more thing. The other thing is the gussets. So I got some dope gussets that we're going to put in here and kind of really just add some detail work to the cage. So I'm going to run to the store real quick and buy a few parts for the door, because I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. Steven had this great idea. This is his Mini Cooper door, but he put this rubber trim around everywhere he cut. So one, you don't cut yourself, but two, it looks clean and almost like it should be that way. So that's what I'm going to grab. And then also, just so you guys get an idea, this is essentially how my door bars are going to look. The X that's bent slightly outward as well, and then this dimple plate right here. And I'm back. So here it is. We got about 30 feet of it. So this is exactly like Steven's door, and it's going to look amazing. I might actually use this in some other places. Steven gave me a good idea and just said essentially use it on any sharp edges, but this is what we'll be utilizing to make that look clean. It's coming along nicely. My God, I don't know why, but I was like most excited about these door bars. Looks sick. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and try to disassemble the transmission right now, since obviously we're not using that, and let everyone else do their thing. So I just found the piece that Steven had cut out, so if you guys want to take a look at all this, this is that center console piece, which is trash now, but definitely looks a lot more clean without this thing in here. So we're starting to strip the motor a little bit, get all the stuff off that we don't need. Like I said, the trans, I got everything loosened up, and then Steven's removing the factory wiring harness, which we don't need. And now we'll also get to see what maintenance needs to be done. So we just realized we definitely need new coil packs, which I was probably gonna do anyway. We'll end up getting new spark plugs. A lot of these pulleys look pretty rusted, so we'll probably change those out as well. But just really strip everything we don't need and clean it up, and then start putting on the new stuff. So we got the AC pump off. There's the intake manifold. So we took that off because we needed to get it off in order to get to all this wiring harness, which we're, like I said, getting rid of. Now I'm also debating getting a new intake manifold, because then there's a lot less lines we got to reconnect, and it'd look better, perform better. It would just be better. And there it is. That's the jumble of wiring. And there goes the trans. Let's check up on Garrett. How's he doing? Okay.
Fitting door bars?
Ooh, yeah. That side's already done. He's just doing the driver's side right now. So here, so you guys get an idea, this is where that bar is going to go through to that kicker, right to there. So through the firewall into the engine bay. Damn, this is looking like an intricate work of art here. So this is the first time that I sit in my car since I actually dropped the car off, and it was completely stuck. And I gotta say, this feels crazy. I mean, so much time and effort and money is going into this thing that, you know, sometimes we get overwhelmed, but just sitting in this car right now is an amazing feeling, seriously. Alright guys, so what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna go with a front cylinder facing hydro e-brake or a rear facing one, because huge shout out to Cooler Works, same company I got this shifter from. They're actually gonna hook me up with one of their new hydros, and I just gotta figure out, like I said, what I want. So right now I'm mocking it up and trying to figure out if I want to have it facing this way or facing this way. And to be honest, I think I'm more or less feeling it this way because it looks a little more clean. I can hide that little reservoir under the dash. This is a view from the inside, so you guys get a better idea as well. And I think this is what I'm gonna go with. I like this vibe. You know, it's gonna be really close to the steering wheel. If I put it on this side, it's gonna be too far. So it should be perfect right around here. And then another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was actually the paint. So as soon as the cage is all done, which should be in the next few days, it's obviously gonna be time to go ahead and clean the inside up and paint it soon. And I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. If you don't, you should. But I went ahead and put up a poll to see if you guys think I should paint the cage in Dakar yellow, which is the E36 M3 yellow, or do a Porsche acid green. And although the Dakar yellow won, acid green has always been a color that I've really wanted to do on a car, whether it be on the inside or the outside. So I think I am gonna go with that one. And I mean, worst case, I can always get it painted again eventually. But then that's just gonna be the cage. So now the inside of the car, I need to get painted. And I actually wanted to do like a Lamborghini gray or like a Nardo gray from Audi. But Steven and Dustin had just told me about this, which is why we set it out here. And so this stuff is actually not paint. It's steel flake. It's a polymer or something like that is what they called it. But it's super heavy duty. And so we sprayed this pole to give you an idea. And the cool thing is, this is very similar to the gray that I was going for anyway. And not only is it a similar color, but it's also super heavy duty. So like, I mean, it's very scratch resistant. It's very just not delicate essentially. And so we might go with that on the inside and get everything a fresh coat of that gray. And with that gray, then that acid green's really gonna pop. So one thing I didn't get on camera, but Steven did, was he cleaned up this transmission tunnel. So he cut off all the nipples that used to hold the heat shield. And then because the 2JZ sits so much further back, he also went ahead and hammered in these corners so that way it'll clear, because there was a lot of rubbing issues. And I don't know if you guys watch Speed Academy, but they're doing an E46 M3 with a 2JZ swap, and they're ahead of us, so they already encountered all these things and we're just going by them and avoiding them. So that's actually been a major help. Hey guys, alright, so my girlfriend Steph and I are heading to LA right now to pick up some car parts from my friend Andrew. Now the main thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, if you obviously didn't see the title of the video, is I don't really think this is going to be considered a budget build anymore, and I was a little disappointed when I had to realize it wasn't going to be. But you know what, at the end of the day, I'm going to explain to you guys right now why it's not. But it's my build, and I guess I just wasn't real with myself and didn't realize that I need things done a specific way because I'm very picky, and there was no way I was going to be able to build this car the way I wanted to with just $10,000. So long story short, you know, I've got the cage built now and got the engine, got some bigger other parts for the car that I need, but overall, I'm already into the car like I think 13 or 14,000, given the fact that the cage cost me 5 grand on its own. And so I'm gonna obviously make another video soon breaking down all the labor costs so far and the parts and everything else, just like I have done in the past, but it's not going to be a budget build anymore. And so, you know, what I think I'm going to be doing is still, as I'm giving you guys the price breakdown of stuff, I'll tell you where you could save money and where I could have, you know, gone a cheaper route. But for my sake and for my build, I want it done a certain way and I want to be super happy with the end result. And realistically, that's just not going to happen on $10,000. And the funny thing is, every single person I knew told me it wasn't going to happen from the beginning, but I didn't believe them just because I had never built a car like this. And so, you know, you live and learn. Alright guys, we made it. So here's Andrew. He's nervous to be on camera. I'm trying to convince him to make YouTube because he does some crazy stuff, honestly. I don't know why he hasn't made one yet. But anyway, let me tell you guys, I haven't seen this guy in literally 5 years. So long. We both met in Orlando, and he ended up moving to Colorado for business. Obviously, I moved to San Diego with Steph, and then he ended up moving to LA about, what, a year ago?
Yeah, August last year.
Yeah, so about a year ago, and we haven't seen each other since. And so finally, I made the trip out here. He hooked it up, like I said, and picked up, you know, some car parts for me. And yeah, here we are. The one thing I will say is I'm pissed because he has a sick...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude. He has a sick GT3, and I pull up, and this Panamera is freaking sitting in the garage. Hybrid. At that, and that's because...
We're in LA. What can I say?
Well, he didn't get rid of his car, but the thing is, it's been in the shop, and so I'm super stoked to show you guys the GT3 and maybe get a ride in it, but I guess we'll have to say that for another video, right? Because I did tell you we're going to do a video.
I'm going to let you drive it.
Yeah,
I promise.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll do a GT3 video another day, but for now, we got the Panamera and some cool bikes.
The crappy bikes.
The crappy bikes. No, those are cool too. All right, so here's the parts that I was talking about. The steering wheel, and then obviously we got the quick release with it too. And that's actually nice badass, stuff. Man, with the yellow. I didn't even realize it was yellow. So this will look good in the car.
Really good.
They're Schroth, right? Schroth, I believe 5-point harnesses.
Straight from Germany.
Straight from Germany.
Nürburgring.
That's right, man. Appreciate you. And the funny thing is, he could actually only fit one of the harnesses in his freaking suitcase, so I gotta have the other one shipped.
Carry on only.
Yeah, exactly. Carry on only. But yeah, so at least we got this stuff. So we're heading to Aero 1, which I guess is one of the bougie, healthy places that Andrew's telling us to go to. So. And I'm back at the shop. So I'm gonna put the steering wheel in the car, which should look really sick. Picture that. But yeah, I'm gonna put that in, and then also I picked up the carbon fiber trim from my old E46 M3 that I wrapped in 3M because I gave him the aluminum trim that came with this car. So I'm gonna put this in, put the steering wheel in, and that's it for today. See how it turned out. There you go. Looks good. So I'm heading home right now because luckily I'm selling all of the remaining E46 M3 parts I have sitting in the garage, and I'm letting them all go for $450 because one, the guy had already bought a lot of stuff from me in the past, and two, I honestly just want them out, and I can't deal with all the clutter. And that's it. The garage is empty. It looks so much better. Look. I don't think I showed you guys before. Maybe it was in a previous video, but all of this was filled up with stuff, and so I didn't film while I was loading up, but I do have a picture here, and that's how his truck looked actually with everything in the inside of the truck was actually full too, so yeah, it was a lot of stuff, and 450 bucks, I'm happy with it. I can still use that towards the build. The guy's happy with it, he can make some money, so yeah, we're both happy. Anyway guys, I'm gonna end the video there, so thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you guys for your support. Yeah, unfortunately, since it's not a budget build anymore, this is gonna cost me a lot, so I really do need a lot more support. So and I'm not asking for money, I'm just literally saying, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, let your friends know about the build, and yeah, I'll see you guys in video 9. Peace.